Dr. Latoya Vegas, how are you?
Hello, Melinda. How are you? I'm good.
I am good, thank you. I like the color blue.
It's a little purple, but it's kind of blending in with the orange in the background.
Yeah, perfect. So, firstly, happy Women's International Day today. So, thank you so
Yeah.
much, Latoya, for joining us on this special occasion. So, yeah.
Yes,
So,
thank you
before
for
we
having
start
me.
the session, so let's have a beautiful introduction so that later you can start your beautiful presentation. Okay.
All right. Can you hear me well?
Yes, yes, can
Great.
hear you.
Self-care strategy. She transitions moms with multiple children feel depleted but develop to be nourished, renewed, and rejuvenated with biblical principles.
Yes, Latoya, now you can start your presentation. Have a good day. Sorry.
Hey, everyone. Drop a one in the chat if you are ready to transition from worn out to winning. So, my name is Dr. Latoya Wiggins, and I transition moms, Christian moms particularly, from worn out to winning. I teach them how to no longer feel depleted, but how to develop those healthy habits to be nourished, renewed, and rejuvenated with biblical principles that bring peace instead of self pity. So, right now, ladies, in the chat, I want you to type, I am ready to win in every area of my life. If you are alone or you in the position to yell it out, yell it out. I am ready to win in every area of my life. And I want you to say it one more time. Let me see them in the chat. Keep them rolling. I am ready to win in every area of my life. And give yourselves a hand clap, ladies. So I am going to share my screen here so we can get ready to transition from worn out to winning. We are going to get nourished together. All right. Just looking for my slides for you all. All right. Oops. Making sure I'm not leaving the chat now. Okay. Let's see. Wait a minute, ladies. Making sure the right screen is coming up here. All right. So I'm just going to X that out because I don't want to hold you all up. But As a physical therapist, as a self care strategist, as a mom of 3 young boys, as a wife, I know the importance of prioritizing your self care, taking great care of yourself, and I know the bad effects that occurs when you're not taking great care of yourself, which is why I am passionate about transitioning, helping those moms and women transition from worn out to winning. Women globally, all around the world, suffer from mental health conditions such as depression, anxiety, bipolar disorders, eating disorders, more than men. This is globally. And contributing factors include things such as the gender discrimination, all the many different roles, those many different hats that we wear, different forms of trauma, sexual abuse, domestic violence, and the list goes on. And that's why I believe that self care is non negotiable or you will burn out. And I just want to let you know that self care is about nourishing yourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It's about doing those things that bring you peace and joy. So it's not just about the bubble baths, getting your nails done, getting your hair done. Those things are nice. They do make us feel good, but we need to make sure that we are nourishing ourselves each and every day and throughout the day with things that bring us peace and joy. Or again, you will burn out. When we are not prioritizing self care, it leads to those many different health problems. The consistent stress leads to high blood pressure, obesity, different aches and pains throughout your body, headaches, chest pain, stomach pain, the muscle pains, lack of focus and attention, the depression and the anxiety that I mentioned, and so many more. So, ladies, if you are ready to transition from worn out to winning, type it in the chat. I'm ready to transition from worn out to winning in every area of my life and be the woman that God created me to be. And we're going to do that by developing a self care manual, your own winning woman self care manual. But before I get into that, I would love to share a little bit about myself. So, as I mentioned, I am a mom of 3. And in the middle of the pandemic, February 2021, I had my third son. And I had a very difficult time transitioning from a mom of 2 to 3. I felt like I was being spread thin, trying to give my love, care, and attention to all 3 of my kids, including my husband. I couldn't forget about him, right? But I just didn't know how to manage it all. And oftentimes I found myself walking around feeling like a ticking time bomb just waiting to explode. I felt angry. I felt grumpy. I was so impatient. The least little bit of thing that happened that wasn't my way, because I know a lot of you probably can relate. You want things done your way because that's the right way. Not really, but that's how we really feel oftentimes. So I remember one day just walking into the kitchen and seeing a complete mess, toys everywhere, crumbs everywhere, and I just exploded. That ticking time bomb did explode. And I was yelling to the top of my lungs at my family, telling them how much they got on my nerves, how much I was sick and tired of taking care of them, looking after them. Nobody was helping me. And I felt awful. I felt the way that I felt. I loved my family. But in that moment, I just felt angry. And I felt like a form of grief. Like I missed who I used to be. Who was Latoya outside of being a mom and a wife? So after that explosion, that release, I found myself in my bedroom on the floor, crying my heart out, just trying to figure out what was wrong with me, asking God to please to help me. I did not like me. I didn't want to be this woman, and something had to change. So I remember I just told myself, Latoya, it is time to get it together and get the support that you need to heal. So I started seeing a therapist, a mental health therapist, and strengthening my relationship with God. And that's when my healing journey began. By strengthening my relationship with God and seeing a therapist, I found myself practicing, being intentional about practicing more patience, peace, and calmness, even when I felt like I was in the middle of chaos. I found myself doing nourishing activities to give me more mental and physical energy to keep up with these busy boys of mine. I was taking better care of my body. I was moving my body more, which felt good. I started socializing more because for some time I've been isolating myself because I didn't want to be around anybody. And I also started getting back to my business, doing what I love, which is coaching and speaking to beautiful, wonderful ladies just like you, teaching them how to transition from worn out to winning. And I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm so far from that dark place that I felt stuck in. I feel like I've received more clarity on how to serve God as a mom, as a wife, as the person, the woman I was created to be. And these things make me feel like a winning woman. Not a perfect woman, but a winning woman. So now I want you all to transition from worn out to winning too by developing your own winning woman self-care manual. And you are going to do that by using my PEACE framework, because that's what we are doing. We are creating more peace in our lives, more joy in our lives. We're going to be showing some love to ourselves. Everyone benefits when you take great care of yourself. You're able to give the best of yourself in everything that you do. Everything that you do. As a mom, as a wife, as a daughter, as a friend, as a boss, as an employee. Every area of your life, the people, the projects that you are working on, you're going to see those things flourish. You're going to put the best of yourself and not what's left of you into the people and things that are important to you. All right? Eleanor Brown said that rest and self care are so important. When you replenish your soul, your spirit, you get to serve others, not from an empty vessel. We can't serve from an empty vessel, ladies. So let's start creating our winning woman self care manual right now, beginning today. All right. So that brings us to the peace framework. The P in peace stands for permission to say yes to yourself. You have to begin with giving yourself permission to say yes to you, your desires, and those things that you feel called to do. And just know that when you start saying yes to yourself, you will have to start saying no to those people or things that no longer serve your purpose in life. So say yes to taking better care of yourself. Say yes to the vacation. Yes to rest each day. Yes to more time with your Heavenly Father. Yes to all those things that are important to you. Okay? That's going to nourish you. That's going to make you happy and allow you to actually serve others. Give them the best of you, not what's left of you. Say yes to saying no to those things that no longer serve you. No to those toxic people. No to those draining activities. No to the very busy schedule. Say no, ladies, so you can give yourself your yes. All right? The E in the peace framework. It stands for evaluate your current self care manual. So I know you may be thinking you do not have a self care manual yet, but let's think mentally about what you are doing, what's going well, and what's not going well. We always want to acknowledge what's going well because you know the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, what's going well? What are those activities that we already know nourishes us? Maybe they are activities that we are currently doing. Maybe we want to do more of them. Maybe there's some activities that you haven't done in a while because life got in the way, you forgot about them, that you know brings you some peace and joy. So you want to start bringing those activities back into your schedule. Put those on your to-do list. And then you want to look at what's not going so well. That's the biggest thing. What is not going well so I can start nourishing myself? Maybe you lack support. And you may lack support because maybe you're not asking for the help or accepting the help. So we have to learn to be okay with asking for help and accepting help. Stop being superwoman. I always say, take that superwoman cape off and burn it. We are already naturally strong. That's why we stress ourselves out trying to do everything and be there for everyone. Let's burn that cape. and start connecting with other people who can support us so we will not deplete ourselves and have all these different health issues. Live a life that's not purposeful. Let's get the help to do what we need to do to serve ourselves. All right. Maybe you lack some funds. So maybe money is an issue for certain things. Maybe you want to get a gym membership. They say eating healthy is could cost a lot of money. Maybe for those pampering activities that you like to do, getting your hair and nails done, going to the spa, maybe going out with your friends. But self-care, there are plenty of self-care activities that you can do for free. But again, if there are some activities that require money, that could be a barrier for you. Maybe you have too many things on your to-do list. You have so many commitments and obligations on your schedule. Some of those things are things that you don't even want to do, but you feel like you should do them. Maybe somebody asked you and you were afraid to say no. Maybe it sounds good to you, but maybe this isn't the right season for you. I always say don't put things off for years. I have young kids. I'm not going to put things off until they're grown, but I have to find a time that works best for me. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but maybe in a few months, or maybe I can take some small baby steps to start working towards those goals. But stop piling so many things down on your to do list. It's going to stress you out, all right? And learn to say no to those things, again, that no longer serve you. Just eliminate those things from your schedule, all right? What's another one? Sometimes we're too tired to prioritize self-care, which is the whole reason why we need to make sure we are nourishing ourselves, have the energy to do things that are good for us to do. All right. Women, especially, a lot of times we have shame or guilt or feelings of selfishness when we want to do important things for ourselves. We feel like it's taken away from somebody else. Saying no feels bad. We have to get rid of those feelings of shame, guilt, and selfishness so we can replenish ourselves. All right. So that's another barrier, also. So, what's going well and what's not going so well? So, we did the P in peace, which is permission to say yes to yourself. E, you're going to evaluate your current self-care manual. That takes us now to A. A, you're going to assess those areas for action and abundance. So we found out what's not going so well and what's going well. So what do we want to take action in? Maybe we do need to nourish ourselves more physically, eat healthy, nutritious foods, get more sleep at night, get a good 7 to 8, 9 hours of sleep as grown women. um, Move our bodies more for some form of physical activity. Maybe you do need to nurture yourself more mentally. Maybe you need to see a mental health therapist like I did. That's what I forgot to mention in my story. I mentioned that I saw a mental health therapist, but it was for anxiety and depression. So maybe you have to see someone to help you with those things you're struggling with. Maybe you need to see a coach, a fitness coach, a nutritionist, a spiritual course, or a leader if you're religious, whatever it is. Maybe seeing a parenting course. I have 3 kids and I need some help with my parenting, y'all. To manage these busy boys of mine. So, what do you need to nourish? Maybe it is the time management piece. What things do you need to take action and abundance in? All right. So, that takes us to the C. I already mentioned this a little bit. Once you start doing great things for yourself, or even when you're starting to think about it, those feelings of guilt will come up. So we need to make sure we are canceling. Cancel feelings of guilt, cancel those negative thoughts, cancel anything that would lead to self sabotage. So anytime those feelings come up, and they will come up, they might not always go away, but it gets easier. I just want you to check yourself, maybe do a self reflection and ask yourself, why am I doing this? We have to remind ourselves why we are taking these steps to care for ourselves. Why do I just want at least 10 minutes to myself after work before I get busy with the kids? Why do I want to sit and have an actual lunch break without answering phone calls or typing away at the computer? Why do I not want to go to that party? Why? Remind yourself of why, what are the benefits, and who is going to benefit. Because it's not just you, other people are going to benefit from you saying no or yes to yourself. So cancel those feelings of the guilt, those negative thoughts, and self sabotage. And that brings us to E, the last E in the peace framework: execute. It is now time to execute your new Winning Woman Self Care Manual. Your new self care, your new Winning Woman Self Care Manual. This one you can actually put into paper form or put on your computer, whatever you need, so you can have a source to go back to keep you on track with your self care goals. Write them down. You got to write down these goals, not keep them in your head. You will easily forget. So write down the goals. Write down those areas that you want to have action and abundance in. Write down those self care activities that you want to start practicing. You know, write what are some things you want to start doing daily, weekly, monthly, even yearly. Write them down so you will not forget. When you write down those goals, you need to make them small and measurable. Do not be afraid to start small, ladies, because when we try to, what I say, go hard, like, oh, I want to start losing weight. So I'm going to go to the gym next week, 5 days a week, for an hour each day. And I've never exercised a day in my life. I will be setting myself up for failure. I will quickly fail and I might get discouraged and not start again. So be okay with starting small. You want to lose weight, you want to start living a healthier lifestyle, be okay with starting with 5 minutes or 10 minutes to exercise. Be okay with starting 1 day a week, 2 days a week, 3 days a week. Eating healthy, maybe you need to start with one healthy meal a day, two healthy meals a day, maybe eliminating something like meat or some other source that you want to eliminate from your diet each day. Don't be afraid to start small. Sometimes we get discouraged, like, oh, well, I don't take any quiet time by myself because I don't have time to exercise. So if all you got was 5 minutes when you were aiming for 10, at least you got, it's better than nothing. So 5 minutes is better than nothing. 30 minutes is better than an hour. Start where you are. This leads me to actually making sure you give yourself grace because it's not easy. We have these unhealthy habits and we're trying to break free from them and learn new habits. It's not going to change overnight. So give yourself grace. I always say give yourself gratitude. That really helps. Be thankful for the small things. Be thankful for the start. Be thankful for the progress. All right. That also leads me to make sure you are executing your self-care manual. Lean into those experts that are out there. There is a expert, a coach for almost everything, if not everything that you want to do. The pandemic definitely birthed plenty of coaches. So you need to see a purpose coach, career coach, a business coach, a spiritual coach, a fitness coach, a self care coach like me, a wellness coach. I can keep on going with the different coaches, a therapist, like I mentioned, your physician, whoever those experts are, lean into them so they can guide you on the right path, so they can keep you accountable, point you in the right direction so you won't keep struggling and going backwards instead of forward. And last but not least, always lean into community. This is what I love about the WIN conferences, is bringing women all around the world together. You can do this on your own, even just on social media. There's so many different support groups or groups with like-minded individuals. I'm in groups for moms. I'm in groups for wives. I'm in groups for my fitness and well-being. Connect with those people who have similar goals. Do not, I repeat, do not depend on the people who are closest to you, such as, my husband. We both are on our weight loss journey after my son. He's 2, so now I can't even call it the baby weight. So it's definitely time to lose it, right? But I can't depend on him right now because every time I go in his man cave, I see fast food. So you're like, you know what? I'm a little ahead of you. Let me go to somebody who I know is on the right track, right? Your friends, they may encourage you, they may support you, but they may not want to go to the gym with you. So lean into those who are doing the same exact things or similar things, working on similar goals that you're working on right now. All right. So, ladies, last but not least, to make sure that you continue on working through your self-care manual, I want you to go to bit.ly. I can type that in the chat also. bit.ly /nourished mom workbook. This workbook is for, well, it's titled Busy Christian Mom Self-Care Workbook. Even if you're not a mom, even if you're not a Christian, it doesn't dive deep into like motherhood or Christianity. So if you need some help with getting started with your self-care manual, download that book. It's at bit.ly /nourish mom workbook. You can also get it at my website, which is probably easier to remember. She is a nourishmom.com. I'm everywhere on social media at She is a Nourished Mom. All right. She is a Nourished Mom on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. I have a new podcast out called She is a Nourished Mom. So you can connect with me on all of those different sites. I told you my website is sheisanourishedmom.com, and get that workbook. It helps you with the time management piece. It helps you to give yourself permission to say yes to yourself, as well as nourishing yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually as well. My name is Dr. Latoya Wiggins, and I want you all to have a wonderful day. I've already had fun talking to you all, and just enjoy the WIN conferences. All right, I'm just checking the comments in case you all have any questions. Oh, let me type that website for you all. Yes, thanks for joining me, Elizabeth. Is it Kayema? Forgive me if I'm saying your name wrong. Serenity, Elaine,
Thank you
Melinda.
so much. Thank you so much for the amazing speech, Dr. Latoya. You really got a very good comments. So if you see the messages in the tab, so you can see that. So yeah, so it's really a great presentation. Uh,
Thank you.
so and Elizabeth said like goals are widely to track what you have achieved, or else we don't think we have done enough. Good point, right? So yeah, and so if you want to, yeah, if you want to visit Dr. Latoya Wiggins, just go to her website. It is www dot she's
She's a
nourishedmom.com.
nurse. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes. So and also you can visit our a book that is bit.ly /nourished mom workbook. Okay. So just save it, and definitely if you have any questions, she will definitely help you out. And yes, Dr. Latoya, self-care is very, very important. Mainly, I think I personally believe health is very much important
Yes.
other than anything. So first priority is health. What is the second priority?
You said priority. Your health in general, I say like your health, that's talking about the physical health, your mental health, even your emotional health, your spiritual health. All of those things for me encompasses what health and well-being is.
Yes, it matters. It really matters a lot. So if you are really strong physically, so it will help you to reach any of the goals you want to fulfill your dreams. So
Yeah.
it's really an amazing speech, Dr. Latoya Wiggins. So thank you so much for joining for WYN Summit on this special occasion, Women International Day. So this is a hybrid event, as you know. So if you
Yes.
want to share your thoughts, if you want to share your experiences, so you can visit our Zoom link. So which is happening in Paris, France. So you can join that event. So you can give your comments. So it really helps. It will boost their presentations. Yes. So please join
Uh-huh.
the link. Yes. Thank you so
I
much,
will.
Latoria, and really have a wonderful
Thank
day.
you.
Bye bye.
Same to you all. Bye-bye, everybody.
You really had a beautiful smile on your face today. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Let's move on to the another speaker. So